Day to one and all. Today's class is about textiles in CAD. So I'll just start with a basic introduction about CAD, and then I will take you a bit into detailed terminologies that are there in the few demonstrations of a few videos that I have selected for you relevant to your syllabus. Of course, textile CAD would have been very nice if it was a practical subject for you all, but unfortunately here it's a theory subject. Anyway, I will give you some clues with which you will be able to write down few essays in your exam. Now this is the way the PPT is going to flow. This is going to be an introduction and history about the application, about the benefits, the drawbacks and the disadvantages, and the CAD in ITC. So what is CAD actually? Everybody is aware of this. CAD is nothing but computer aided designing and drafting. Now any part of design process utilize the computer as a tool. Now we have computers in graphics, in engineers, in architecture, in engineering. Every field has been overtaken by this facility of doing their designs or their drawings in the form of a software, which is very conveniently used everywhere, which is called CAD. Now, the same applies to the textile and the fashion industry as well. CAD includes graphics applications used for purposes of visualizing design, technical specification, and functions. So, for you, it will be more useful in this context of visualizing your design. What happens when you've done a design is, in case there are some changes that have to be done in your design. If you've done it manually, then in case you've done a pattern for a gown, and you've done it in a complete orange shade, and suddenly you decide that the orange isn't looking really that appealing and you want to change it to a different color. Doing it manually will be an entire lot of process and a whole lot of time to sit and redraw it and redo it. But if you've done it in CAD, if you've done it in a software, it's just some simple keys that you don't have to move here and there to change the color right from orange to purple to green to any kind of a pattern design that you require. So that is why everybody is moving on to CAD. CAD was originally developed on industry-specific or turnkey systems. CAD is a mainstream tool for the competitive market. Most companies have integrated some form of CAD technology into their design and production process. So this is a two thing here. One is just that designing is done in CAD, but it doesn't stop over there. It has also been applied in the production process. How in the production process, I will explain to you a little later. And of course, now the latest thing that has come in is 3D printing. All of you must be aware of 3D printing, and now it has come into the design industry, in the interior industry, in architectural industry, where an entire house is being 3D printed. So I'm sure very soon we're going to get into the stage where the dresses also are going to be 3D printed, or the specific accessories in the dresses are 3D printed. To create colorways, it is used about 65%. On printed fabrics, it is used about 60%. In merchandising and presentations, it is used about 48%. And in knit design, it is used about 41%. This is just a general survey nationally or internationally that is being done, which is kind of found out that who all are using this CAD. Now, of course, it is much more larger than the values that are being shown over here. Where all can you apply CAD? As I was just saying, in merchandising, in design, as well as in marketing. These are all the three fields where you can apply this CAD. How in merchandising? So in merchandising, it is about the selection of the line of how your product is going to develop. It is in the product selection itself. It's in the costing of the product and the product quality. These are all the various aspects in which under merchandising you can use the CAD. What is the CAD used for merchandising? CAD is used for visual presentation for merchandising process. Like for example, even before your product is made, even before the product is brought into the market, you first need to convince your producer. You first need to convince the person who is financing into your product, the person who is funding for your materials and for your thing, for you to release the next product. He needs to get convinced before it is really done or actually done. So this is the process where your line selection or line production happens, and then a prototype is done using the CAD. Seeing the prototype, the company buys it or the client buys it or an individual buys it and then funds your product, and then you do your production or your real-time design. Under design, these are the various categories in which your CAD can be used. You can use it for trims, for embroidery, for silk screens, for concept presentations, on fabrics, the different variety and pattern of fabrics that are there, for the color story, the mood boards also, the design specs, the line development, the photos, the drawing, the yarn design, and color matching. These are all the various fields in which you can use your CAD. Which CAD system is focused on concept and which one is technology based? Under marketing, there is advertising, catalogs, magazine photos, video, newsprints, labeling and packaging, storyboards, and retail goods. These are all the various different mediums that are there, which are used for marketing, in which again you can apply your CAD knowledge that you have. CAD is the most visible producing exciting new patterns or fabrics. Now here if you can see, this is close to impossible if you're doing it manually. But because it is done in CAD, you're able to assemble various images, you're able to assemble various pictures, you're able to assemble various colors and put it into a convincing format, which is possible much easier if you're doing it in CAD. The influence of the computer on textile begins at the textile design stage and continues through manufacturing, marketing, and retailing. So stage 1 to the end product. In the entire process, the CAD is involved. Now, the one major advantage of using this CAD in your design is this design spec. Design spec is you can individually, completely measure every single part of the fabric or the dress that you're going to make. Put it down in terms of measurements. When you put it down in terms of measurements, you're even able to get to the quantity that is required. How many meters exactly you would require to complete this pattern of a design. All these calculations you can do using this. So that's a great advantage. When you're specifically mass manufacturing, you will know exactly how many balance of cloth or meters that you require to produce your product. The next stage is the 3D visualization. How you can visualize your product being done at the retail or your product being done as a design. Complete visualization even before you have chosen the yarn or chosen the fabric for doing your product. These are some websites from where you can look into some designer collections that are being done using CAD. Now, the common use of CAD design for surface pattern for fashion and furnishing fabrics. The system allows complex designs to be completed in short time. As software packages are increasingly specialized, easier for designers to wear quick design. Example, Prima Vision, Photoshop, and Illustrator. These are the 3 different forms of softwares that you can use. Specifically, Photoshop and Illustrator is very often used in this industry. What are the benefits? They increase productivity, they reduce product development time, they increase creativity to improve conceptual design, they reduce cost of samples and prototypes, lower reject rates. Often your products are rejected after you've fully done them. So you can avoid that by having given them the visual effect of your product. Create universally understood communications among all phases of operations. So the advantages, this should cut your time, it saves the time in approval process, respond to the changes quicker, you adapt to the consumer reactions, and more time for development. So this gives you more time to design, more time to look into the creative aspects. So that's the advantage of doing this. Now, online catalogs. These are a very, very important source to merchandise your product. So using this CAD, it becomes very easy to propagate, to inform the public that is there about your product very easily using these online platforms, for which again you require CAD. And ultimately, it ends up in increasing the customer satisfaction. Now, this is just a small clipping to show that where else this CAD designers can be employed. Not just as fashion designer, you can also look at yourself being placed in the market as a CAD designer. So it could be somebody else's design and they are unable to do an illustration of your design. You can take up the role. You can take up the role of the illustration for them. You can take up the role of being the magazine editor. All these you can do if you learn CAD as a job by itself. Industry is looking for designers and merchandisers who are computer literates. So if you can learn the software, there are yet another possibility of jobs that you can apply. Yes, cost. Everybody cannot afford the software very easily, but then of course there are different other ways by which you can download the softwares, and there are specific softwares available for students. So you can give your college register number and download the softwares as a student for your learning process. Especially AutoCAD also has a specific facility where you can download the products giving your college ID card. Designer machine operated, lost creativity. And sometimes you get stuck to these available concepts that are there, which is there in the system, and then you lose your creativity. You start using the same motives that are available with you readily. So you should come over that and feel lost without the tools of artists. Now, some artists are very comfortable using those pencils and brushes and just getting it down. They feel their thought flow process or the idea process comes down only when they are sketching. So you need not feel lost at it. What you can do is you first do your sketches, you come up with your brushes, with your paints, come up with your concept, and then develop that in the CAD. Time to fully realize the system capabilities. Actually, the system is capable of much more possibilities. We still need to tap all those possibilities and enhance this. These are some websites. I will share this link with your class. You can then log into all these websites, especially this cads.com design. This is a very interesting website. You can look into this. Okay, can CAD system replace traditional sample production process? Not exactly. Not exactly, but it is possible in both. What you can do manually is you can do in the CAD as well. As I told you, supposing you're looking at some specific handmade process of production like exclusive RE work. RE work can never match up any machine embroidery. So those kind of disadvantages are definitely over there. The exclusive handwork cannot be replaced by the machine works. Machine works have their own different kind of appealing effect. And any limitation for CAD application in textile garment, as of now, there is no limitation because it is applicable to the entire field, right from design to merchandise as well as the marketing. Now, yeah, Prima Vision is another software you can look into. I will give you a list of these softwares also. And, here, the design system famous for its speed, stability, and user-friendliness. Easy to use graphic tools to fast style, pattern, color, develop, catalog, and storyboard creation. I will give you some small demonstrations of what I mean about this pattern and color development. Design collections using libraries including syllables, woven construction, accessories, knit structures, textures, and materials. This also have a small video which I will show you what I mean by applying textures and different materials on your product. A variety of professional modules of knit, weave, and textile print design which are already available. You can use them as the motives. Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator is a very, very, very handy software. All of you must learn this software because it is very easy, and in fact, a very handy software for you all to immediately come up with your creative ideas and designs. All of you must look into learning this Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. I'm I'm sure most of you must already be aware of it, but still those who are not, please catch up on Photoshop and Illustrator. It's very easy to change the color, to change the pattern, to change the dress, use the human figures in various positions or postures that they are, and create your designs on top of them. And Prima Vision is again a very friendly, user-friendly and a low-cost software. It's available freely also to download and work on it. Now, the special purpose in garment design is here, as you can see over here. This is an embroidery machine, a highly sophisticated embroidery machine, and designed for high-speed operation of 1,000 stitches per minute and quieter environment. So this again, the pattern, the embroidery pattern or the motif that you're going to do using this machine is completely computerized. So all you need to do is you've done your drawing, you convert the drawing into a digital drawing. That digital drawing is converted into a software format that this machine can understand, and you just feed in the digital file of the drawing that you've done into this incorporated system of this machine that is there, and it automatically stitches the pattern that you want. It's like that laser engraving or laser etching that happens in the market, the same process over here. So any kind of intricate pattern design you can do using this software conversion. This is different types of weaves. Once you have these different types of weaves, there are certain softwares which will give you the kind of warp you can use, or the different weaving complex weave patterns that you can use, and the minimal rethreading that you can use. All those calculations can be calibrated in this machine. So then there is nothing manually done. You don't need to push the shuttle manually or operate the thing manually. And there is nothing that the wheels or the levers are set like the other machines of about 50s and 60s used to be. This is completely computerized. All you do is convert your weave pattern into a digital pattern and feed it into the software of the system, and then it automatically calibrates the thread flow and gives you the weave pattern. These high-end looms, the Dobby, you must be heard about Dobby. Now this input and edit a design on screen and immediately execute it on the loom. It's still hand weaving, but with greater efficiency and infinite more creative and control. So the number of parts in this are very less, and it's again completely digitalizedly operated. So once you feed in your loom pattern into this, again it comes out in a completely faster, quicker, and a more precise design pattern than what you have created to be done. The text printing, the textile printing, or the digital printing. This is yet another different variety of using your CAD applications, where you probably even a photograph. You can print your own photograph on the textile. So you get a digitally created image, you feed that image again to your software, and even complex images can be done with different permutations and combinations. The printing can be done directly onto your fabric. And you can also edit the images, you can retouch the images, you can modify the images, and the color separation. Color separation has been a very important vital factor in textile design right from the early centuries, and here it is very easily possible color separation. I will also show you a small video about this color separation process. Okay. Let me show some videos and come back to this. I'm going to very shortly play these videos, not a longer time. Okay, this is Point Care Pro Design software. In this you can see it tells you how you can adjust the pattern that you are doing. You're trying to create striped pattern over here. So these are the tools that are there, the tools that are there in your software. These tools are common to most of these softwares, be it CAD, be it Primavera, be it Photoshop, be it the Point with Care. In all those, what you can do is, this is one important factor, simulation. Simulation is you've created a pattern and then you visually watch the effect of what you've created. After you watch the effect of what you created, in case you want changes, you want to increase the warps or you want to increase the webs, all those you can do in this symbolization process and look how your finish is going to be. The next is the color variations. Now here, different colors you can see are available in this tool here at the top. When you click them, you can select the color variations. It's the same pattern. Same pattern, it is giving to you in different color combinations. So you can choose the color family that you require, whether you want it in reds, you want it in blues, you want it in orange. You can quickly change the same pattern into various color families and look into that. Variations or tones of hues and the sizes. In case you want to reduce the size, in case you want to increase the size. Here again, when you zoom, you are able to see the pattern itself. Okay, so this is how the knit creation is. I was talking to you about Dobby. This you can see here again how I was explaining about the tools in the software. If you can see, this is the basic toolbar. In this you have pan, you have select, you have color ranges. When you click the color, you get into that color wheel where you can select more intricate, precise colors from the color wheel. And you have crop, you have edit, you have match, you have copy, you have mirror, you have repeat pattern. All these are available in this toolbar that is there. This is the file bar where you can save, you can export, you can save it as JPEG, as PDF. You can export this into the CAM softwares which your machine will be able to understand. Now here, if you can see, this is again how we are varying the different weave patterns. The various weave patterns that are there. I'm not much a textile person, so I really don't know lots about the weaves and the looms and all that. All that I know is about CAD. So, but whichever weave pattern you select, there are already preset patterns in this CAD software. You can choose those preset patterns and apply those patterns in your design. Now, when you here you can look how the different kinds of weaves are being applied, and then as usual you change the colors, you change the size, you change the format, and then you save this into the CAD file, and this has been imported to your machine and the machine automatically processes it. Okay. So Dobby is actually a very important thing in the market as well. Most of the market is now using this Dobby technique only. This is about your motifs. Now, very important thing in entire textile field is motifs. So here you can see there are already some specific motifs that are there as templates which you can use. Otherwise, you can create your own motifs. This is a special software which is a motif creator. So you can download this and keep, and you can create your motifs in this, then take this motifs and apply into your CAD software. This will come to you as an editable motif. So you can reduce the size, increase the size, you can vary the color, you can crop it, you can mirror it, you can do anything with this motifs and create your pattern on your fabric. Okay. This again, the software is the same. If you see most of the softwares, the features are the same. It will be move, cut, crop. Here you have some additional drawing softwares. You have line, you have ovals, you have rectangles, you have squares, you can measure it. And here it shows you the different stitches that you can use on it, the direction in which you can go, all those are there. All these are common features in most of the softwares. The line, circle, rectangle, color, repeat, copy, crop, mirror. If once you got used to these, in everything you can get used to this. Now he's creating a motif now. You can draw arcs, you can draw ovals, you can draw ellipse. Create a motifs, save your motif and take it into your CAD design. All the softwares have libraries. All the software has inbuilt templates. You can use those templates and apply them in your design. Vary the textures. Weave pattern. This is a very basic software. It's almost like a child's play. And the features are very simple, so any school kid can also learn to do these. You can rotate, you can mirror, you can multiply, you can have various repeat patterns in that. There is one more software where repeat patterns are there. I will show you that also. Open, save, file, edit, create, all those are same in all the common features. See, like these kind of motifs you can do. So this is your CAM application. CAM is computer aided manufacturing. So how you can apply your design into the manufacturing product. So the two things to understand, one is CAD and one is CAM. CAD is your computer aided design where you create your design. CAM is your computer aided manufacturing. The design that you have created is converted into these codes. These codes are what your machine understands. Digitally, it is fed into the machine and the machine does your product. This is a very interesting software. Here, your complete codes for weaving is created. So this is a CAM application. Drill weave or twill weave or jacquard weave, all those can be done over here. how your fabric is come, which yarn, which color, what should be done. All those calculations can be done over here with the exact measurements. You will know how much of the length that you require, how much of yarn bales you require, and what will be the output of inputting these many bales of yarns into your machine. All these calculations can be done with this measurement oriented. So your production is precise, your production is less loss oriented. All these 3D simulations are possible using this software. You can watch it in 3D, how your cross weaves are coming, a 3-dimensional simulation as well. So at one specific point, any specific point in your pattern, you can identify that point, select that point, and from that point it will show you your weave pattern. So this is more of a use when you're getting into the production side of your product. Your complex weaves are now taking into place. All these kind of complex weaves is possible using this CAM software. There you can see the detail of it now. The end product. This is not possible manually, it's possible only with this CAM software. One thing I'll like you all to know is about the Pantone colors. I'm sure all of you know what the Pantone color is, and the color of the year 2021. Always as Pantone releases the color of every year, and for this year it is Ultimate Grey, if you are aware of that. And this is the company or the organization that has. Now Pantone has a specific color uniform code universally that is being used and applied, and that is called the Pantone color code. Pantone has this various forms of color systems that are used for graphics, for textiles, for coatings, and for digital. And there are different swatch codes that are there for cotton, for nylon, for polyester, because the color varies. When you see the green, the same green shade in silk, it is much different when you see the same green shade in cotton. So according to the material also, they specify the colors, and product wise the color shades are available. Now what happens in this Pantone color shade, or the CMYK, the cyan, magenta, yellow and black color combination schemes that are used universally, or the RGB, the red, green and blue, the 3 primary colors that are used. Now in these, the color is always given a coded number, like 10% of red to 12% of blue to 98% of green. This kind of a percentage of color that is being divided to give you the specific hue or the tint of the color that you are looking at. And this number of the proportion of the primary colors that are gone into creating a color is the coded that is being used throughout the world. So what happens is, you may have done a design in India. You can't just send it abroad for production over there and say, give me a Persian blue. The person will not know what a Persian blue is. You just can't tell him, give me an indigo color. He will not know what an indigo color is, because colors vary. Every 1%, 1%, 1% of a change in the combination varies the color shade. So there are these uniform codes. So you can send them the Pantone code, or you can send them the CMYK code. When they get these codes, based on that proportion inside this, they will get you the exact shade. And specifically in textile industry, the shade is very important. The shade is very important because that creates or breaks the entire design of a designer. So the designer has to be very specific about his color, and you should know to identify your colors with the grades or these percentages that are there. This is, I just have a bit of text over here which will help you write your exam, and there are some more nice videos, but unfortunately I don't have time to show you the small clippings. I have not shown you the entire videos also. I've just shown you clippings of those videos. When you have the time, just please Google and look into these videos. Now in the garment industry, yes, computers have influenced every sphere of our life in one way or the other. Computers are making human life easier and comfortable. Computers are helping to design, analyze, and manufacture the product with short span of time. In engineering applications, a product is a fast and accurate data manipulative system that is designed to automatically accept and store input data, process them, and produce output results under the direction of a stored program. Computer is a tool to increase productivity in many aspects of our life. Computer-aided design is the use of computer system to assist the creation, modification, analysis, or optimization of a design. This is one important point that you can write down as a definition. CAD software is used to increase the productivity of the designer, improve the quality of design, improve communication through documentation, and to create a database for manufacturing. CAD output is often in the form of electronic file or print machining or other manufacturing operations. Commonly used software used for CAD are AutoCAD, MS Resource, SoftDraw, etc. Second. Now what is CAM? CAM is computer-aided manufacturing. CAM is the use of computer software to control machine tools and related machinery in the manufacturing of workpieces. CAM may also refer to the use of a computer to assist in all operations of a manufacturing plant, including planning, management, transportation, and storage. The term CAD-CAM implies that an engineer can use the system both for designing a product and for controlling manufacturing processes. CAD is broad term used to represent use of computer in designing. CAM is term that denotes the computerized control of manufacturing process. Almost all industry sectors are using CAD in their designing departments. CAD can help to draw textile designs for textile industry. We should not confuse CAD only with drawings. CAD covers many aspects of designing like design calculations, data analysis, and simulations. This is what I was telling you. To calculate the quantity also, it is equally required. It helps designers to draw accurately. You can see the product in 3D. You can rotate the design and view it from all angles, to make changes and modifications quickly and easily, to experiment with different patterns, textures, and colorways, to develop basic or standardized designs, to improve the quality of the design, to use simulation to test the design. CAD actually encompasses all those activities of product design cycle, which converts a workable concept into a ready to manufacture product specifications. The various sections are geometrical model, design and analysis, design optimization, drafting, and documentation. So this is another important term that we know over here, documentation. How you document your design. You know, the designers who are famous have already started documenting their designs for future use. Museums also store these documentation of the designs that are there, specifically traditional patterns. If you've documented any traditional pattern, it can be given to this archives or museums to store them. CAD software is used to increase the productivity of the designer, improve the quality of design, improve communication through documentation, and to create a database of manufacturing. Originally, softwares for computer-aided design system was developed with computer languages such as Fortran, Algol, but with the advanced of object-oriented programming methods, this has radically changed. AutoCAD explores and visualizes 2D, 3D concepts with a powerful set of intuitive design tools. These are various softwares that are now available in the market. There are some more added to this list, but RealCAD Pro, Reno 3D, IronCAD, Prism, ColorText. You can look into all these softwares. Modaris is a garment sector, TukaCAD, Lectra, ReachCAD, Optitex PDS, Audacious Apparel, GT Resources. All these are various organizations that are excelling in this usage of CAD software. Now, designers who are unable to do it themselves, they approach these organizations who come up with their designs in form of CAD for them. And various body measurements. This is very important. CAD and CAM has this one relation that they directly take into your body measurement, because in your industry, body measurements is very, very, very important, very, very, very vital. So the various body measuring systems have been developed since 1980s. This automatic system operates by using scanning or photographic equipment linked to a computer. Some of the body scanning machines are LAS, Lobro Anthropometric Shadow Scanner, Wix and Wilson's Triform Scanner, SimCAD. So no more manual measurement with tape and all that. So you have the human body, and this computer or the scanner scans the entire measurements and interpret that measurements into your design. CAD and textile designing. These pictures show a range of fabric patterns and body forms with a color range to the product. This is completed using a CAD program. The computer screen images show the process of a CAD drawing that will eventually be used on a multi-headed CAM embroidery machine. So here you can see the sketch and then the embroidered finished effect, both using your CAD software. The embroidery machine, which we saw earlier also. Various motifs and patterns that you can use. Application on your various illustrated figures, both in 2D and 3D pattern. The drafting, complete measurement based drafting. Pattern making can be designed in two ways using Rich Piece, Gerber, Lectra software. So these softwares exclusively for your pattern making. So in the CAD itself, there are so many separate fields that you can specialize into, not just the designing of your product. You can get into CAM, you can get into colors, you can get into weaves, or you can even get into pattern making. Each one has a different software application. Sizing and resizing using your pattern making. Grading. You can also have this specific grading done using your computerized process. Resizing your patterns. For example, size 10 patterns must be made larger to accommodate size 12, 14, 16. So you have one product being made and then you apply it right from the children to the elderly, and how you can grade it. Automatically your system will give you the measurements for cutting the pattern of the same product for a small kid to a elderly person. The purpose of grading is to proportionally increase or decrease the size of a pattern while maintaining shape, fit, balance, scale of the garment. So all these are maintained and automatically the proportion is given to you by the computer itself. Marker making systems. How you can make your marks for cutting. And these marks can be transferred into your fabric before you do the cutting for your stitching. CAD technology can easily digitize their existing hard patterns into automated digital systems. The better the layout is, the less fabric is consumed, reduce labor and material cost. So you don't need to waste fabric. You can apply your pattern on the system itself and check which possible layout will give me the optimum use of the fabric that is there. So you reduce your cost by doing this planning on the system itself. Okay, CAD Gerber technology helps in cutting machines, automated material spreading, and perfectly aligned edges. Accurately aligns and eliminates loss with optimizing the material utilization. Nests patterns closer to the beginning end and the edges of the separate, eliminating and loss each droplet. So you can feed in your paper, the pattern paper. This machine will cut it and give. Then you place it on your fabric, and your job is much easy. You less errors because you have already perfectly aligned it in your system. These are different cutting machines. In this kind of a machine also you do your pattern cutting. Okay, so this is all that I have to say for you all or share for you all today. And you have any doubts, you can always get back to me.